Happy Tuesday, Acts of Grace. I'm glad you're back for our devotion for Tuesday of the Holy Week. Today we're going to be looking in Matthew chapter 21 at just two verses, verses 12 and 13. And in today's devotion, we're going to talk about when Jesus cleared the temple while he was in Jerusalem. And it's a very short story in Matthew, but it is not the first time that this event occurs. So let's take a look at Scripture and see what it says, and then talk a little bit about what it might mean for us today. So in chapter 21 of Matthew, verses 12 and 13, it reads, Jesus entered the temple courts and drove out all who were buying and selling there. He overturned the tables of the money changers and the benches of those selling doves. It is written, he said to them, that my house will be called a house of prayer, but you are making it a den of robbers. Jesus goes in and he flips tables. And he does so because he's angry. He's angry that they have turned this house of worship, they have turned the holy temple of God into a place of making money. It's not the first time that Jesus does this. The book of John actually tells us that 3 years prior to this, he does the same thing in the temple. And what he is doing is he is telling the people who are there profiting money that they shouldn't be there to profit money. How were they profiting money? Well, you see, everybody would come to Jerusalem during the festivals to offer sacrifices to God. And they were supposed to bring animals to sacrifice. But because many traveled long distances, they would go, and instead of bringing the animals the entire journey, they would go and purchase animals there in the city. But it got even more convenient when people realized that they could profit off of this and sell the animals right there in the temple. And they could charge exuberant prices and really make a killing off of selling these sacrificial animals. Not only that, but there were something called money changers. Because Roman currency wasn't accepted in the temple, there would be people there willing to exchange the Roman currency for what they needed, also for profit. It was a way for everybody there to make money, number one, but even the buyers there he condemned because they were doing it out of convenience. And so their hearts weren't even in the right place. So this whole event took place, both this one and the one 3 years prior, because Jesus didn't like where everybody's heads and hearts were, even in his temple, even in the place where they were there to worship God. He was finding that other things were taking focus on their hearts and minds. During this time, what we're all experiencing right now, not only us here in Bucks County, but all over the world, where things are being shut down, people are being told to stay at home, stay in place, and not go out. We're finding that all our lives are being stripped of so many things that we're used to, that we're all having to simplify and get back to the basics. And I thought, what a great opportunity, especially during the Holy Week, for us to really scale back and look at what is really important. Jesus flipped these tables to really make a statement about what are you doing here at the temple? What should this really be about? And I think if he were here today, he would look around at us as a society, as a group of believers, and he'd say something similar. What are you doing today? Where is your focus at? It's not what it should be. I found with all that we've had to strip away, that life has gotten much more calm, much more peaceful. And it's a great time to really sort out our priorities. I was one who we were constantly going, me and my whole family, go, from one event to the next event to this, and we have to do that. And we were always going. And this has really scaled back during this time, and it's shown me that what's really important is the family time that we have together. That all the other things that I thought were important really weren't that important. But even more than family time, making sure I'm prioritizing God in the middle of all of it. Even if I'm doing all this stuff for church is not the same as God. And that even though I might be spending a lot of time on church-related activities, that's not the same as spending a lot of time on my relationship with God. And so I encourage all of you this week to really take this time, to take the extra time that we have on hand, and really reprioritize your life. Ask yourselves, if Jesus was here standing right in front of you, what would he ask or want to clean out of your life to make sure that your top priority is your relationship with God, and that you get that back on track to what it should be. I look forward to speaking with you all again tomorrow, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks, guys. Bye.